Hello everyone, AmyR here of Prairie Paper and Ink, and these are probably the fastest cards I have made in a while. Really fun and really simple, so I'm using mostly die cuts for these cards today. And I started off with some Doodlebug Booze and Brews paper that I die cut with a circle die. And then I've got some heavyweight black cardstock that I am running through with the reverse confetti. I'm using their Halloween Bits die set as well as their web tag layers die that I showed in a haul video not too long ago. So I ran the little bat through once, and then I noticed how much extra cardstock I had left, so I was like, oh, I'm just going to run it through multiple times. As usual, I was flying by the seat of my pants. I was thinking of only making one card, but then as I started die cutting more, I was like, you know what, I could probably do two. So I die cut the bat multiple times and used up all that black cardstock. And then I grabbed some vellum and die cut the little ghost, which was the reason why I bought this die set. It was so cute. I love the shape of it and the little face and everything. So I ran that through. I ended up die cutting that 3 times for the vellum. And then while I was at it, I was like, ooh, you know, the web tag layers would also look really nice in vellum. So yeah, I was starting to think about the second card, which I will show closer to the end of the video. And then to finish the second card, I used another piece of the Doodlebug Booze and Brews paper with the circle die. So once I've got that, I'm going to start popping out all the little inner pieces from these web dies. And I just used my craft pick for the center areas that are really, really tiny, that are hard to pop out those pieces. So just poked out all the little pieces from this die. I love this, and I had said it in the haul video too, it's so much bigger than I thought it was going to be, so it's just perfect, kind of takes center stage. So I kind of had a rough idea of what I was going to do, but I started playing around with the layout and whatnot, and I've got my circle of pattern paper and then my web die, and I decided since it was basically a tag, I was like, it needs to be finished off a bit more. So I had this Doodlebug Halloween ribbon. This came in the Simon Says Ghostly Greetings card kit. I don't know where you can get this. I've never seen Doodlebug sell ribbon before. So yeah, just some orange and black gingham. I know AmyR made some orange and black gingham. I don't know if I have any in my stash or not, but anyway, I used my Tim Holtz tiny attacher to attach that to the tag. And then I pulled out the reverse confetti, the Treat Yourself stamp set, and stamped the boo sentiment along the bottom of my card base here, which is this heavyweight white cardstock cut to 4 1/4 by 11, and I had scored it at 5 1/2. So it's a top folding A2 size card. So I stamped the sentiment, and then I adhered the pattern paper and just trimmed off the excess. And then I decided I wanted to pop this die cut up with a bit of foam tape. So I had some little extra left over from a piece I had trimmed, and then I had to trim some more. Ended up cutting it into thirds so that it was narrow enough to put basically just around the perimeter of the tag here where the cardstock's thicker, and I was able to put one little piece in the very center, and then the rest of it I just left as is. So peeled off all the backing there and adhered that. And then for my ghosts, because they're vellum, I didn't want to add any adhesive to it because you'd be able to see it. So to combat that, plus to use these super fun, these are those Doodlebug Eerie Eyes sprinkles that sold out I don't even know how many times. And then I said, I wish I'd bought like 10 packs of these. They're so cute. So I adhered those over the little die cut eyes on the ghost, and then I applied some multimedia matte adhesive behind those eyes. So that gave me a place to stick these down to that tag so you won't be able to see the adhesive. And then their little bodies over. They kind of pull up a little bit because it's vellum, but that just works. It just makes it work. It's so cute, and it's hard to kind of see on camera, but in real life, it's so adorable. I love it. And then as a final little embellishment, I pulled out the Doodlebug, the Halloween assortment matte sprinkles, and added a couple of those to the card. And then to finish off the inside of the card, I just grabbed another sentiment from this Treat Yourself stamp set. And I'm just inking it up with the VersaFine Onyx Black ink, and then I stamped it in the center of the card. And then I have my third little vellum ghost, and I didn't want to add the eerie eyes. I don't like having anything really dimensional on the inside of my cards because it makes it a little bit lumpy. And then, like I said, when you adhere with vellum, you can see the adhesive if I use any little dots of adhesive or anything. So to combat that, I just pulled up my little Xyron X and ran this through that and turned this basically into a sticker, so it applied a full you know, layer of adhesive to the back of this. And I've shown this in other videos. I just use a dotting tool around the edges and where the mouth is to pick up any excess adhesive on the backing sheet there, so that when I peeled off the backing sheet, I didn't have like goopy bits of adhesive around, and that this would adhere cleanly. So again, it's hard to kind of see on camera, but it's so cute in real life. So that was card number 1. And then for card number 2, I basically did the exact same thing, just with the different elements and a slightly different kind of color scheme. I just had some Simon Says fog cardstock as my base. And I pulled out some black and white gingham ribbon from my ribbon stash that I've had for years, and did the exact same thing. Attached it to this vellum spiderweb tag with my little Tim Holtz tiny attacher, and then used a different sentiment from the Treat Yourself stamp set and stamped that along the bottom of the card. And because, again, this tag is vellum, it would not have been easy to adhere, and it wouldn't fit through the X. I would have had to get out like my larger Xyron, but I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to adhere the tag completely flat. So instead, I ran the die cut bats through my little Xyron X, and that way I've got full adhesive along the back of them, and did the exact same thing. Went along the edges with the dotting tool and rubbed in the eye area just to pick up all that adhesive on the backing paper. And then this way I can pull off all these bats. They've got the full adhesive, and those, when I press those over the tag, those will hold the tag in place as well as the bats. And I couldn't resist. I had to add more of the eerie eyes to these too, because it just completely changes the look of everything. So for these ones, I chose the little black and white little eyes. And for the one, I added the larger ones just because it was too much to pass up. It's just so funny. So adhere those into place. And then on the inside of the card, this is where I use the baddie for you sentiment, of course. So, or baddie about you. So stamp that, and then did the exact same thing with those last 2 little die cuts. Just ran them through my little Xyron X just to make things quick and easy. And then this way they are good and adhered. And adhere those into place, and that finished off these cards. If I was to remake them, honestly, these are like less than 10-minute cards. Super fun and quick and easy and just adorable. I love these die cuts. So as always, I will have links below the video to my blog post, links to all the supplies used. I'll have links to a couple other videos in this series. Thank you all so much for watching, subscribing, and thumbs upping my videos. I really appreciate it, and I will see you all very soon in the next one. Bye.